Well, before we ask the big questions tonight, it's important to differentiate whether this was an individual expressing his views, in this case Jairam Ramesh, or was it the party's decision or what the party thinks. The fine line here is that Jairam Ramesh is the chief whip of the Congress. Clearly it does seem to suggest that this would be then the party view, which prompts us to ask the big questions this evening. Is Congress insulting national honour? Why is Congress silent on the Jibe at Azad? Does Congress want Azad to decline the award? And does the award imply Azad is warming up to the BJP? We're going to put all these questions to our panelists this evening, but before we do that, I am joined right now by Ashwini Kumar, Senior Congress Leader. Sir, appreciate you joining me. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, for sparing the time this evening. I want to ask you personally, you've been a very senior leader, you've been a union minister. Do you agree with the tweet of Jairam Ramesh? You know, he's the chief whip of the Congress in the Rajya Sabha. He's virtually called Azad a Ghulam. The fact that he's a chief whip pretty much seems to suggest that this is what the Congress thinks.
Well, the very least I can say is that the innuendo in the tweet is shameful, to say the least. I do believe that the Padma Awards are a national honor. Nothing should be said that either offends the dignity of the award itself or of the recipient of the award. Politics apart, the kind of language that has been used, Azad and Ghulam, does not do justice to the dignitarian traditions of the Congress party itself. I sincerely hope that this practice of small-timers humiliating the seniors is put an end to. And I think the sooner that happens, the better it will be. Otherwise, the party will have to suffer. And I say so with a lot of pain in my heart. I normally do not comment unless I feel very strongly about a particular thing.
You know, Mr. Kumar, it's interesting that you use the word of small-timers insulting the seniors. Jairam Ramesh, you know, I would think is not a small-timer. He's the chief whip of the Congress in Rajya Sabha. That's not small-time, you know, by any standard. So my question is, sir, if the Congress High Command had taken objection, if the Congress had taken objection, we would have heard something. You know, they would have come out, they would have made a public statement. Either which way, whether Ghulam Nabi Azad should reject the honour or that they are happy he got the honour.
Well, I don't think that everything that has been uttered by an individual needs to be placed at the door of the party. But in any case, whoever this gentleman is or whatever this the position he occupies, the least he can do is to make amends.
So make amends, Mr. Kumar, is one thing, but usually there has been a culture within the Congress, we've seen it so many times, the High Command, the proverbial High Command stepping in. Do you reckon Sonia Gandhi, the High Command here, will step in, make a public statement, or she should make a public statement?
Well, I'm sure whatever is correct will be done. I can say one thing about Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. One may agree with her, one may disagree with her, across party lines or within the party, but the fact remains that she has never ever compromised on matters that concern dignity of individuals. She has always been extremely dignified, and I think consistent with her respect for dignity of individuals, such words as have been used by a whip of the party ought never to have been used.
Mr. Kumar, do you see somebody who's been a senior leader of the Congress, who's seen what has gone down in the last year especially? Has this happened in the wake of the infamous G23 attack on the High Command? Azad had written that letter to that leadership.
Well, I can't conjecture on that. I don't know what the background is. I don't know what the truth is. I am only commenting on the basis of the tweet that I read and what I saw in the papers. I was aghast. I am ashamed. Such words coming from anyone, leave aside a whip, are condemnable.
Mr. Kumar, a lot of members of the G23 have come out and supported Azad, of him getting this honour, Ghulam Nabi Azad. You know, the fact is that they've supported it. Your chief whip, Rajya Sabha, has made fun of Ghulam Nabi Azad, or not made fun, but was highly critical of Ghulam Nabi Azad on Twitter. And there is no word coming in from anyone in the Congress officially. Does this reflect the current state of the party?
I am not a member of the G23, so I don't want to be tagged along with that. I am saying as an individual in my own right, as somebody who has spent a very large part of my life in the Congress Party, and I've seen the downs and ups of politics, I still believe that there is need to maintain dignity. And what this will lead to, I do not know. How this can be put an end to, it is for the leadership to decide. But speaking for myself, this is bad omen.
Mr. Ashwini Kumar, I appreciate you taking the time out and joining us this evening. Ashwini Kumar, senior leader, former union minister, coming out and siding with his colleague Ghulam Nabi Azad, saying it is in bad taste, but it's important of what he said as well, small-timers making fun of seniors. But is there any condemnation coming in from the High Command or an official word from the Congress? No.